I ask you to step aside and, because we're going to move on to the item 34, proposed land gift Rolleston Avenue, and deal with that now. Could I invite staff to come to the table?
Just noting our conflict of interest.
Oh yes, now could those that are not participating in this decision, and that's the people who are on the Arts Centre Trust Board, who are on the Museum Trust Board, if you could sit back from the table to make it clear that you're not participating in this at all. So in fact you can go and get a cup of coffee if you want to as well, so there's no need to be involved. So I will move the hearings panel recommendation. Do I have a seconder? Tim Scandrett. Are there any questions that... Sorry?
Can I open as the chair?
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course you can.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Leanne. Look, just a few quick points. The hearings panel is made up of Councillor Jimmy Chen, Deputy Mayor Vicky Buck, and myself as the chair. Just on page 290, attached to the main hearings panel report on page 2 is a report prepared by staff which details the wider background information, along with property, legal and financial advice and options that the council needs to consider when deciding whether to support the hearings panel recommendations or not. So the heading on page 290 should really state that it's a staff report in support of the hearings panel recommendation. And on page 288, just as I'm sure you've all gone through this, we received 144 submissions, 128 were for, 15 against, and 1 was undecided, and at the hearings we heard 9 of those. On page 297, one of the issues which was brought up and was considered was loss of car parking. There is an income to council of between $100,000 and $120,000 per year. The car parking is made up, there are a total of 80 car parks, but 54 of those are leased. So technically, including the 2 mobility parks, there are only 25 available for short-term parking for the public and 1 motorbike. However, the hearings panel considered all information presented and found in favour of option 1, which is on page 300, and realistically there are only 2 options, yes or no, and so I trust that you will support the hearings panel's finding and vote for option 1, and I don't know if my fellow panel member Jimmy would like to say anything, but so thank you. And thank you to staff for the work that you did. Cheers.
Thank you, hearing panel chair. Yes, because as a hearing panel chair, in particular mention, actually, as a hearing panel, we review all the kind of consultation submission, and also we heard all the oral submission, etc. Because especially at this moment, we consider cost and effective, whether it's benefit to the least the city, etc. We thought if we lost several kind of the car park, etc. But we kind of promise, where the secure at least the car park. But we consider, in moment this kind of is aligned with the kind of the Canterbury Museum, the objective attracting more visitors to the Christchurch, especially after earthquake. We thought that's a huge benefit to the city, but lost some car park can mitigate lost the reverse the effect. So overall, we have this recommendation by the hearing panel. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to, before we open it up for debate, I just wanted to comment. I did notice that one of the submissions indicated that I had a conflict of interest because my a question mark, Mayor's husband heads trust, question mark, which I was actually appalled to read. My husband's got nothing to do with the trust, never has, and I don't know why the submitter made that comment, but I wanted to place on record that my husband has nothing to do with it, and I do not have a conflict of interest in this matter at all. So I was just annoyed when I read that, that's all.
Fair enough.
So, so I'll open it up for debate then. Andrew.
Thank you. And just very, very quickly, this is a tremendous gift for the city. I think it'll be an ongoing asset for the city. I welcome the recommendations of the hearings panel and support the motion that's in front of us today. I really welcome this proceeding and going ahead.
Tim?
Thank you. As I said, that you could look at it in the short term with regards to there is a cash loss of around 120,000 to the council for the gifting of this land to the museum. However, the greater gift to the city is huge, and I think to this cultural precinct will only add to this. And when you find that the spine will be the Ravenscar art, but around it will be the constant changing of the items that are seldom seen and not seen enough with regards to held in the deep and dark dungeons of the museum. So hopefully many pieces will get to see the light by many people, and that will keep life in that building. So I'm fully supportive. Thank you.
Yes. Jamie?
Yeah, I just think this is one of these fabulous times at council when we sit around here and we get to be part of a decision like this, when I actually think that this is one of these facilities or gifts to the city that we'll look back, and as Tim quite correctly said, I think it's something that we can all be very proud of. I think it's something that the city will love. The nature of decision making at council is often it's a balancing act, and it's disappointing that there'll be a loss of car parking, but the generosity of the Ravenscar Trust and the Wakefields, I think, far outweighs on a monumental scale the benefits versus the cons. So we'll find car parking elsewhere. We'll deal with it. I understand that it's a serious problem in the central city of Christchurch at the moment. That notwithstanding, though, we actually need to have a city that works. We need to have a city that attracts people, and actually have a city that's fun. Otherwise, there's not really any point in parking there to visit anything. So I'd just really like to commend, one, the hearings panel for the work that's been done on this, and most certainly the Wakefields as well for their generosity. This is an incredible gift for the city, and I think ensures that the heart of the city is going to be built upon to be strong going forward into the future. So I'm really excited about this, and think that it adds a tremendous amount of value to Christchurch and the culture and the fun of the city that we all want to be a part of long term.
Thank you, and I agree with Jamie. It's actually wonderful to be part of a decision like this. Did you?
Just one more thing. In the build with the museum, that they are going to try and replace as many car parks as feasible. So it's not a loss of 80 car parks. Hopefully, it'll be a loss of a lot less. I should have mentioned that before.
No. I was going to mention that as well. That there is an intention to have short-term parking as part of the whole proposal underneath, so a lot underground, and then the retention of the car parks that are along the side. So there is a considerable amount of work being done on ensuring that there is car parking, short-term car parking available for people who are visiting the area and obviously visiting the facility. But I guess that I wanted to particularly focus on the generosity that this represents, and to reflect on, and people laugh at me because I keep forgetting the phrase, but where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So it may be a gift of land to the Canterbury Museum, but we are basically shareholders in the Canterbury Museum through the legislation and its role that it provides to Canterbury as a region. That means that this what is built there becomes part of a gift to the Canterbury region, and I think that makes it more than just something that's for Christchurch. It's actually for the region. And I really want to pick up on what Tim said, which was that, you know, that it will be an opportunity for these wonderful treasures that we never see because they are in storage, but we're going to see them in a context, and the context will be this art house museum. It's just extraordinary. The feedback that I've had, you know, around the coffee cups of Vic's Cafe and various other cafes where I usually start my day, has been, this is an overwhelming act of generosity, and I know that some of them actually put in submissions after reading about it in the newspaper and talking about it. I said, put in a submission, and people did, and you could tell from this overwhelming weight of submissions that there is a real sense of excitement, but also an incredible sense of gratitude to the Wakefields, and I know that they're present, and I want to acknowledge them on behalf of the city, but also on behalf of the region. So on that note, I will put the motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That's carried unanimously. Thank you very much.